Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and thank you once again for joining a new publication of results of Latin NCAP. In this case, is going to be the last publication for 2018 phase 9 of results. So in order to start with the publication, we do it as we always start with our video showing the cars that were selected in this new publication of results. Phase 9, we have tested the SEAT Ibiza made in Spain. We have tested also the SEAT Arona made in Spain, only source for these cars, and also the new Chevrolet Aveo with 2 airbags, standard, made in China. The summary of vehicles: the SEAT Ibiza made in Spain, the Arona made in Spain, only source, and the Chevy new Aveo made in China. The results: the SEAT Ibiza has 6 airbags as standard and electronic stability control as standard, 5 stars for adults and 5 stars for child occupant protection. We're now watching the different levels of protection, the coloring of dummies, showing the different levels of protection in different body regions. And now we're watching the frontal crash test of the Ibiza. Offered a stable structure in the frontal test, frontal airbags, pre-tensioners and seat belts assured a good protection for both adult occupants. The car offered 3-point belts as standard in all sitting positions, and also ISOFIX anchorages for the child seats in the back in the outboard positions, in both outboard positions, and they are both labeled and actually approved as I-size. Good protection for the child occupants, 18 months old, in the frontal crash, as we can see now, and also for the 3-year-old. Good protection in the frontal crash as well. Both seats were anchored and actually installed using the ISOFIX anchorages as explained. Top view, now watching side impact for the Ibiza. The Ibiza has standard 6 airbags, as we mentioned, so side head and side body airbags both deployed properly on time and well to protect the adult occupant and the side impact. Now we're watching a top view of the front windscreen. Good deployment of the airbags. Now we're watching the in cameras for the child dummies. Both child dummies showed good protection, and the side impact, both child seats were anchored and installed using the ISOFIX anchorages. Outside view, rear side of the side impact, good structure also for the Ibiza on the side impact protection, and top view of the side impact for the Ibiza, also with good performance. Pole impact now for the SEAT Ibiza. It has a side curtain airbag, side head protection, and also side body protection. Both airbags deployed properly well on time to prevent major injuries in the adult dummy. That's clear from the readings and also from the videos. We're now watching top view of the pole impact. It's a stringent test for the structure, and this car offered good protection for the head of the driver. Electronic stability control was also tested for the SEAT Ibiza. We're watching in camera with the robot, and now we're watching the outside camera also with the robot. But also the car had no issues at all to pass the ESC requirements for Latin NCAP. The SEAT Arona, it's 6 airbags as standard and electronic stability control, 5 stars for adults and 5 stars for child occupant protection. We are watching now the color dummies, and in a few seconds we're going to be watching the frontal crash. Now we're watching the frontal crash test of this car. Stable structure, good combination of seat belts and airbags. Both seat belts, airbags together with the structure assured a good protection for the adult occupants in this car. Also the child occupants were installed using ISOFIX anchorages, which are standard in this vehicle, and were in both cases installed using the I-size labels, I-size approved anchorage points of this car, showing good protection for the child occupants. We are now watching the inside camera for the 18 months old and the 3-year-old later on. It's important to say that this car is actually the same car as the SEAT Ibiza, only has higher suspension and higher sitting position, actually, to make it the look of an SUV, and also has a higher clearance from the ceiling. That's the reason why you're watching once again the side impact of the Ibiza. As both are being the same cars, Ibiza is a lower sitting position, so it's a worst case scenario for the Arona. For that reason, we consider the side impact protection of the Ibiza valid also for the Arona, and this is the reason why we have considered the side impact protection for the Arona. Also good, as in the same way it was for the Ibiza. As explained, the Arona has a higher seating position, so the test would be less demanding for protection of the occupants. Considering that, we can keep the Ibiza as the side impact valid for the Arona. Same way for the pole impact, as both cars are the same as explained, and doesn't matter the height of the suspension, then the cars would be exposed to the same kind of issues. So that's the same kind of stringencies and conditions. So that's why the pole impact, side pole impact of the Ibiza was also valid for the Arona. That's what you're watching once again, the Ibiza, in this part of the video. However, electronic stability control test was done independently for the Arona. It's a higher suspension car and higher riding clearance, as you can see, so we needed to perform electronic stability control, which the car passed without any issues at all. And you're watching now the videos of the electronic stability control test for the Ibiza. And the last vehicle we're going to publish this opportunity is the new Aveo, 2 stars for adults, 2 airbags as standard, and 2 stars for adults, 4 stars for child occupant protection. We're now watching the color dummies, in particular the weak protection offered to the chest of the driver. The car offered a stable structure for the driver's side. However, we identified asymmetry between the driver and the passenger side on the frontal crash protection, and we highlighted that it's not nice every time we don't say that it's because it didn't happen, but in this case it is a car with a difference in symmetry. Airbags and seatbelts work well. However, in terms of preventing the head hitting the steering wheel and also the chest hitting the steering wheel of the driver, they were really working a borderline case, and we are strongly calling this manufacturer to improve those borderline cases. Protection for the child occupants was good, considering that the car has standard ISOFIX and 3-point belts in all sitting positions, and performance during the crash was good. The side impact for this car does not offer side airbags. However, with the side impact protection, the protection for the car for the adult was good overall. Considering the car doesn't have side airbags, also for the child occupants on the side, both child occupants using child seats anchored with the ISOFIX connectors, then also side impact protection was good for the child occupants. Watching now the rear view of this car, and in this case borderline in terms of door opening, but still we had a stable structure avoiding penetration of the cars. The summary of results: the Seat Ibiza, 6 airbags as standard and electronic stability control as standard, 5 stars for adults, 5 stars for child occupant protection. The Seat Arona, 6 airbags as standard and electronic stability control as standard, 5-star adults, 5-star child occupant protection as well. In the case of the Arona, we explained that it's the same car as the Ibiza with a higher suspension, higher ridance position, and also a little bit more roof clearance. So frontal crash was performed for the Arona, but the side impact of the Ibiza and the pole impact of the Ibiza was considered valid for the Arona as well after technical analysis. The last car we tested is the Chevy new Aveo with 2 airbags as standard. The car offered 2 stars for adults and 4 stars for child occupant protection. It's important to say that the 2 stars are explained by the seatbelt reminder low scoring, and the reason is that this car didn't match the volume, the sound volume required to score seatbelt reminder points. So the manufacturer committed to improve that, and as soon as that is done, NCAP will assess once again this seatbelt reminder system in the car and will update the score if that is necessary, and we will let you know as soon as possible as well. We remind you that we tested the Aveo, the old Aveo, the other versions. Both of them were rated 0 stars. The new version of the Aveo shows a clear improvement of that model. However, comparing to the other models, we would like to see the Aveo also offering a 5-star protection as well. Another comment we would like to add on the Aveo is that the Aveo offered, as from scratch, as from starting point, a good side impact protection, while a similar car for Latin America, which is the Chevy Onyx, so probably a little bit more expensive and the best-selling car in Brazil, we showed in 2017 that car was heading the selling volumes in Brazil for many years. That car produced in Latin America was not offering side impact protection, and it did it until 2018. while the new Aveo already comes as from scratch, car produced in China, offering good side impact protection even without airbags. So this is it for our latest publication, the last publication of 2018. We would like to thank you very much for following us and supporting us along 2018, and we expect to count on you on 2019 onwards. We would like, first, before we finish, we would like to thank very much our supporters, which is Bloomberg Philanthropies, Global NCAP, FIA Foundation, ICRT, and also the Inter-American Development Bank. To all of them, thank you so much for your support, and we expect to count on you also in the next oncoming years. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and before we say goodbye, safe driving, especially in this very nice time of the year, end of the year. Take care of your family, take care of yourselves, and see you in 2019.